Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Rima, your Austin local realtor. Today we're going to be talking about termites. Yes, termites, but not just termites, actually live termites found in our inspection report. Watch till the end to see did my buyers move forward with the home on the closing. I'm going to be going over with the termite inspection guide and the process of what you need to check and be aware of before you purchase and close on a home that has live termite. Let's go ahead and get started. Can you tell me a little bit about termites? I know on this property you're finding live termites. What does that really mean?
What it means is that they are actively coming up from the soil to the actual structure. Now you have a different type, which is going to be formosan. So formosan is going to not need soil. They'll be behind the walls. And by the time you realize that there's damage, it's already been done. Now here in the Austin area and the surrounding areas, very rarely do we find it. But I mean, for the most part, it's going to be coastal. Here is just subterranean for the most part.
Okay, so do you think this is like a concern for some buyers, or what would you recommend?
Yes. When it comes down to doing inspections, they should always have that done. And when it comes down to actually finding active termites, depending on how long they've been there. This one looks fairly new, so it's not like they've gotten in and started destroying. Doesn't mean there's not hidden damage behind the wall, but there most likely is.
So let's say if they do get a termite treatment, is there a way to check that, hey, there is no existence of termite?
Not without seeing manual. So typically most people find the problem is when they're doing remodels. So bathroom, kitchen, laundry room, they're remodeling it right where there's penetrating pipes. But wherever there's penetrating pipes from sewage to water, that's typically how termites get out from underneath the house, straight up.
I do know that if it's live termites, the recommendation is to treat the whole house.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So it goes two ways. One, if you're needing a fix as a realtor or as a buyer, and it just needs to be fixed right then and there, there's a product where you basically do a local trench and treat. Basically, we do a little treatment. There's no guarantee. There's no warranty.
Okay, let me look at outside where you found it, and that way we can see. And so far now, we've only seen it on that one spot, which is on the outdoors, which was right around here, right?
Sure. So mulch beds, mulch will hold termites. So it's decaying wood. You eat decaying wood, and most people, you go to Home Depot, you buy a bag of mulch, you throw it in the garage and leave it there over winter, and guess what? It has termites. Now they get into the wall, they have termites without them even touching soil out here. So keep that in mind. But yeah, soil to contact, you can see a little bit of the staining where it's going all the way up. I went ahead and removed it. By tomorrow or probably by Monday morning, it'll be all the way back up. Because overnight, they need to have it sheltered and closed. So they'll close it up for now and stop and interrupt them. But eventually, they'll start growing more and more until they go all the way back up, following the pheromone trail where they know they can go up there.
Okay, so for the treatment, you had said it takes usually how long?
It just depends. This one would take an hour and a half to 3 hours, depending on
several hours.
Now, if you were talking doing the pre-treatment for a large building, then yes, that could take days to do because you have to use a certain amount of termiticide.
Do you recommend somebody that doesn't know but still lives in the house to get a checkup on termites?
Yes.
How often?
I would recommend at least after say the house is built 7 years ago. At that point, that's when I would start recommending looking into trench and treats or even stations, as well as just having an annual inspection to make sure nothing's going on. But as a homeowner, knowing what's on your home, making sure stuff is not cluttering up the actual foundation where you can't see, that's the main thing.
So is it every yearly then? Give or take?
Yeah, after 10 years, yes, I would do it every year. So this mulch, again, they're going to hold termites. Typically, even just moving it back, you usually can find some underneath. Just because, again, it's soil, it's dirt, it's actual decomposing material in wood. What you're worrying about is this. If this is above that line, you'll never see it go in. Below it, it's perfect. You can see anything trailing up to these weep holes. They're already have mesh inside of them, so that should stop the majority of bugs from getting into the home. So typically, this expansion joint, they usually use wood. As you can see, it's already dry rotted it out. If you usually have termites, these usually go first. You'll start seeing holes being put into them. You'll start seeing them decayed, and they end up going away. Okay. That's the separation between your foundation and this floating slab, which is your walkway. This is typically where you're going to see termites come out, you have the wood, will travel, hit this, or travel upwards into cracks directly behind the wall, and keeping an eye for those.
So right when they built it, the tree in the back, the builder had said there was termites, and they treated the whole area.
Okay.
So once they treat it, how long is that supposed to be good for?
It usually lasts about 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
But again, you have to take in sun degradation, natural degradation, just chemical degradation. It can last up to is what it's rated for. We don't take that risk, and we usually drop it back by like 3 years. So usually by year 7, it's where we're like, hey, do another boost, do something else to actually increase the overall effectiveness. Because again, you could have erosion that's happening constantly. You can have, bad weather. Any type of other things can affect it.
How do you know that it looks like it had termites?
Just from the damage, but also wood destroying borer beetles. They're giant beetles, probably about yay big. They're longhorn ones and they're smaller ones, but giant holes like this that have been bored out into the home or in the home as well. But you also end up getting these guys. These are acrobat ants.
Oh.
So typically with acrobat ants, you find them if there was termite damage or if there was carpenter ant damage. They come in, they pull everything out and put their home into it. So if you had one or the other, eventually you're going to have one or the other.
For termite, if there is a treatment done, the warranty covers up to 7 years.
Correct.
And then within that, if you see any termites, you can come out and get that treated without any cost.
Yeah.
But after 7 years, you want to get another whole treatment again.
Yeah, after 7 years.
After 7 years.
Every year you want to at least have somebody looking at the property, make sure, and again, just educating yourself on knowing what you're seeing.
So even though if they do a treatment, you still want to get it inspected every year.
Yeah, because anything can change. So.
And is there a fee for inspection every year?
Typically, yes. It depends on if you're on a regular service. If you're on a regular pest control service and we come out, again, most of the guys can do it right then and there and just look to see if they find anything. If not, again, most of the time it's guaranteed under it. If you're just looking to have inspections done and we had it, it's usually $199 per year.
I see.
So
Okay. And can termites cause structural damage, and how quickly can that happen?
it depends on the type of termite, and yes, it causes structural damage. It can be minor to severe. So it just depends on did you ever notice it? The type that you're dealing with. If it's a formosid one, you'll never notice until you do some type of remodel or until they start swarming, which is usually about 3 to 5 years. Same thing with subterranean. As soon as you start seeing swarmers, at that point there's already damage done, and again, the extent, you'd have to remove the walls to actually figure that out.
Since you just mentioned that, you said subterranean termites. Now, what's the difference between a drywood termite and the subterranean termites?
Subterranean is going to be soil based. The other ones are going to be dry wood. Some type of wood source is where the home is going to be at versus being in a soil. So subterranean, going up the side of your house, is going to get the wood, bring it back down directly into the soil.
So they're both there's not one versus the other that's more dangerous.
Correct. They're all going to cause damage to the home. It's health-wise, it's not going to harm you unless, again, if it's to the extent that the entire home is completely destroyed, all the supports are destroyed, and it falls down. Yes, that would be a health hazard. But for the most part, they're not going to be carrying diseases that harm you. It's just your wood is the main source that they're going for.
And those two are the major types of different termites?
Correct. Here in the Austin area and surrounding, typically you're going to find more subterranean than you're going to find formosan.
And then if termites are found in the inspection, usually I recommend the steps is getting you all out here, getting a quote on the treatments, the 2 treatments. What can they do? Because if it's live termites, I recommend the whole house being treated. But if it's found in one section, you can also do spot treatment.
Correct. So typically you can have a spot treatment done. So it's literally one little spot. You want to treat that one. That's fine. At least you're eliminating the termites that you're finding, but it's not going to eliminate the source of anything continuing to come to the home. Because again, every direction within 100 feet, you're going to have termites going out in every direction looking for food. Eventually, they're going to find the home. They're going to go around the house to another section until they find a way up to the house.
So it's not a scary thing for a home buyer if they find something in inspection, as long as they're treated.
Correct.
And there is a warranty in this one, you're saying?
Yeah, correct. There's a warranty to the extent that if you find something within those 7 years, we will come out and treat it. There's no extra cost. The only thing that pretty much everyone across the board, from my understanding, we don't do repairs. We're not handymen. We kill bugs, and that's what we're there for. So if you find it, we'll kill it and take care of it.
And then for that, what's the cost range of termite treatments?
You can range between 400 up to, again, the size of your home. It goes up from there on a spot treatment. If you're looking at a full house, typically it starts at about $1,200 and goes up from there for liquid treatment. Same thing with these stations. But again, depending on if I need to drill, that will be ultimately the decision on whoever's going out, because everything's different.
Okay. And what role does moisture or humidity play in attracting termites? And how can homeowners manage that?
One is not covering up your weep holes. That, just from a standpoint of, that would become a health hazard, blocking off your weep holes, because that's what allows your house to breathe and you don't build up mold and everything else in the home. Stopping leaks. Slow leaks usually are the main cause of most termites, because again, if you have a slow leak behind a sink, it's going into that particle board, and then from that particle board going down into behind it, allowing it moisture more and more, and eventually driving them up.
I see. And then, okay, what are the long-term effects of untreated termite damage on a home?
It really just depends. If it's structural, it will become an issue. If it's not structural, it won't do anything. It's stuck behind a wall. It's not going to continue to degrade because there's no more termite.
And then is there a best time to have a termite inspection done concerning seasonal activity?
So typically I would say summer and fall spring, fall.
Okay.
So in between those times, so even going straight into summer, typically you're going to, just like here in the yard, it's rained, the next day it's hot and humid. That's when you start seeing swarmers start coming out of the ground. It's loosened up the soil. They know, hey, now it's time to, let's go find mates and go everywhere. And that's when people start seeing thousands of them just pop out of the ground.
Okay, I hope you guys learned a little bit about live termites, or if you should be buying a house with a termite or you should not. Well, with our property, we did buy the house. It was treatable, and it went pretty smoothly. So if you're scared or nervous, don't be. As long as you have a good network, a team that you can rely on, that's the most crucial thing. You know, real estate agent and a team of experts. So if you're thinking of buying a house in Austin, Texas, or anywhere in the world, fill out a link and I will get you connected to the right agent. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.